When designing a user research project, listing the questions to ask is the last but one step. The first step is to define a goal or the objective of the project. The question to ask oneself is, what is the desired outcome? Is it discovery? Is it validation of a proof of concept? Or is it to get feedback on a particular feature or a product as a whole? Link it to a real business need. The second step is to define the format, which is most suited for this project. So whether it's a survey or a focus group discussion or an interview or a prototype usage or even an ethnographic study, right, where you observe your participants in a natural habitat using the product service in question. Now, each of these methods are useful and effective for different objectives. So it's also important to think about the return on research when you pick the method. The third step is where you actually create the questionnaire. Now, this is the core of the project. Dropping the ball here at this stage messes up the research big time. General rules of designing a questionnaire are never ask leading questions because that lets your own bias creep in. Ask only one question at a time, else there is a risk that the participant might answer only partially. Be clear and concise. Use simple and appropriate language for the target group. Be sure to prevent fatigue. Very long surveys or interviews can lead to fatigue, and participants are not in the best state of mind to answer your questions. And finally, the last step is essentially the execution and analysis. So talking about an overview of this stage, it would include choosing the right sample size and the cohort for the research, creating the right unbiased environment for carrying it out, which could involve having an experienced facilitator, setting it up in a neutral place, and making it more friendly or not intimidating in order to get honest responses. And finally, at the time of analysis, it's very important to state limitations and margins of error if any.